When it was just the two of us, Jamie Amelia in the most peaceful days. The morning on the island started very slowly. No car horns. No filming schedules. No managers calling to hurry. Only sunlight filtered through the curtains, falling gently on Amelia's face as she slept sideways. Jamie had been awake for a long time. He lay still, not daring to move, just looking at the woman beside him, the one he had loved for so many years, but had never had enough time to look at for so long. Amelia stirred, her eyelids fluttered, then she opened her eyes. "You're looking at me like that again," she said softly, her voice sleepy. Jamie chuckled. "I'm afraid if I blink, this moment will disappear." Amelia didn't answer. She just reached out to touch his cheek, very gently. They looked at each other in silence, a silence that wasn't empty, but filled with peace. When they're not the famous couple. After breakfast, Jamie takes Amelia along the beach. The kids stay to play with the neighbor's family. For the first time in years, they have a proper date, no bodyguards, no paparazzi, no curious eyes. Amelia takes off her shoes and steps barefoot into the sand. The water's cold, she winces. Jamie steps out first, turns around, and holds out his hand. "I'm here." Amelia looks at the hand for a second. Then she places hers in his. The moment is so simple it's heartbreaking. No diamond ring. No vows. Just a well-timed handshake. The man behind the glam. They sit on a large rock overlooking the ocean. The wind blows gently through Amelia's hair. Jamie removes a strand from her cheek. "Have you ever thought, what would happen if I weren't famous?" he asked. Amelia was silent for a moment. "Yes," she replied, "maybe I'll still love you. But less scared, less guarded, less strong." The words were light as air, but Jamie heard every word. "I'm sorry," he said softly. "For what?" "For leaving you to carry the heaviest burden for so long." Amelia turned to look at him. "Jamie, I never chose you for the lights. I chose you for the way you look at me right now." Jamie looked up. Their eyes met. No avoiding. The kiss they'd lost to life. That afternoon, they returned to the cottage. Amelia sat at the old piano in the seaside cafe. Jamie sat behind, listening quietly. She played a slow piece. Not perfect, but full of emotion. When the music stopped, Jamie stepped forward. "You're still as fair as the first day I heard you," he said. Amelia smiled. "You still say the same things that make me melt." Jamie looked at her for a long time. Then he suddenly leaned down and kissed her. Not hastily. Not passionately. Just a slow kiss, like two people learning to touch each other again. Amelia trembled slightly. She placed her hand on his chest. "We forgot this a long time ago," she whispered. Jamie pressed his forehead to hers. "No, we just got lost in life." Night at sea, where Amelia cried. That night, they sat by the sea after the children had gone to sleep. Moonlight stretched across the water. Cool breeze. Very calm. Amelia folded her arms, leaning on Jamie's shoulder. "I was so scared," she said. "Afraid of what?" "I'm afraid that one day I won't see you anymore, but only the world outside." Jamie held her hand tighter. "Do you know why I took the whole family away? For the kids." "No, for you." Amelia looked up. "Because I saw you disappearing in your own marriage. And I was afraid." A tear fell silently from Amelia's eye. "I don't need a red carpet. I just need you," she said, choking up. Jamie pulled her into his arms. "And I choose you, every day." The night they became husband and wife again, in the true sense. That night, the sea was calm. No cameras. No world outside. Just two people who had been through too many storms. They didn't need to say much. Just a look, breathing, and a slow touch. Love wasn't like when they were 18. It was like two people who had almost lost each other, so now they held each other very tightly. The morning after that, Amelia smiled like a 20-year-old girl. The next morning, Jamie woke up to find Amelia standing on the porch, wearing a thin coat, the sun on her shoulders. He walked over and hugged her from behind. "What are you thinking?" Amelia smiled. "I was thinking, it's been a long time since I felt loved as a woman, not just as a mother." Jamie kissed her hair gently. "You've always been my woman. I just forgot to say it for so long." The children saw their parents' love. The children ran out, the youngest one shouted, "Mom and Dad are hugging." Amelia blushed. Jamie laughed loudly. But he didn't let go of her hand. Because he wanted the children to see. Love is not something to hide. And parents loving each other is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. A promise that doesn't need to be announced. The day Amelia left the island, she stood for a long time looking at the sea. "Are you afraid that when you come back, everything will sweep us away again?" she asked. Jamie held her hand. "Yes, but this time, I won't let us get lost again." Amelia didn't need a loud promise. She just needed the way he held her hand tighter when he said that. Love after the storm. That trip was not a honeymoon. It was the rebirth of a marriage. After the storm, after the hurt, after the times when they thought they would never see each other again, they found each other again. Not through loud passion, but through quiet choices every day. Jamie chose to stay. Amelia chose to trust. And their love no longer needed anyone's recognition. Because they were enough for each other.